This is it right here. This sums up everything I ever talk about. This guy is Fear Bavaria on Twitter. I really I've seen a couple of his posts before. This guy's speaking real good red pill truth. He pretty much understands it to a T. This is everything I ever talk about. In all my videos, this is the crux, the essence of everything I say, and it's that feminism is misandry. Okay, feminism is misandry. Feminism is female supremacy, and these are the steps which they take to implement that power and control over men and society. Right here. 1. Remove all sexual restraints off women and place it on men, meaning the women have all the power in the sexual market, that they do all the choosing, and men basically get nothing. Men basically get lucky. That's why they call it getting lucky. We get lucky if we get sex, right? So all the power is in their hands. 2. Transfer unearned resources from men to women through divorce, quotas, etc. That's happening in the legislation. That's happening in the courts. Women are getting screwed. This is why men should walk away from marriage. 3. Give men all the responsibility while giving all the women authority. So women have authority while men have the responsibility. This is what we see in marriages. This is what we see in relationships. Women do the choosing. Women do the, they're the ones who, make the demands, make the commands. Men are the ones who bear the brunt of the responsibility. This is what is happening in our society. 4. Calling women to responsibility for their actions is hate speech, meaning anytime a guy calls a woman out, anytime a guy speaks a red pill truth, anytime a guy says anything remotely negative about women, or asking them to have responsibility over their own actions, he gets called a misogynist. He gets called a woman hater. Okay, and I've experienced this for many years. Very true. Number 4 is very true. All these are very true, but 4 is very, very true. That's how they do it. That's how they remove accountability. They attack anyone who questions them. So down here, he sums it up. He sums up his point down here. Feminism has succeeded in instilling female supremacy. Feminism is misandry. I've been saying this for years. That's all feminism is. It's simply misandry. It's simply man hate. It's simply power leverage in society and legislation and in the economy to give women more power over men. That's all feminism is. It's not about equality. That's a bunch of bullshit. That's hot bullshit. It's hot garbage. Not to mention, they have successfully rendered it societally acceptable to accept feelings over facts. No wonder society is in such disarray. There you go. That's it. This sums up everything I talk about. They render it societally acceptable to accept feelings over facts. So a woman's feelings is more important than the truths and the facts that any man is speaking at any given time. In this type of environment, how can men win? How can we even barely survive? Society is in disarray. We've got divorce numbers going through the roof. We've got abortion numbers insanely astronomical. Okay, single mothers are everywhere. I would say it's a single mother epidemic. All right, people aren't successfully having relationships anymore. They aren't loving each other. They don't know how to love each other. We've been turned into an animalistic type of life that we're living here. It's all about just procreating. It's all about what you can bring to the table financially and things like that. So really, this is how women have hemmed men up. This is how they have thrown us under the bus, and it's sad. It's sad, and these are systematic things, and women are complicit. Women are very complicit in this, unfortunately. Whether subconsciously or knowingly, right? This is what's happening. So I have a comment here. Again, this is a Facebook post, but I have a comment here that says, "Social Marxism. If society falls apart, it is men who will be called in to protect the very individuals, dismantling their own defense mechanisms. If war comes to one's doorstep, it is the men who die in vast numbers. If the Titanic sink, it is the men who die first. This is men's quote-unquote privilege." There you go. They're taking advantage of the society that we have built for them. If things go awry, if there has to be war, if there has to be death, it's the men who are going to do it, right? So what are these women actually doing? They're just using us. We are a means to an end. We are utility, and that's it. and they're just completely controlling us and ruling over us, and this has to stop, and we have to spread the word. We have to stand up. We have to get educated, take the red pill. But again, he says this is social Marxism. I believe this. I believe that this was implemented into our society, in the fabric of our society. It's called social conditioning, social engineering. I believe it. I believe it's true. I believe this is what happened. From my experience, from everything I've read, from what I see, this is true. Right? They are infiltrating into our colleges and universities, which is the best time to, indoctrinate and brainwash young people. Right at 18, 19, they're the most susceptible to new information, and they're also the most easily fooled, easily duped by information that is not fully presented in the right way, by information that is presented as lies, by information that is insidious and harming down the line. Okay, this ruins people's lives. If you go to college at 18, 19 and you get indoctrinated with this feminist lie, 20 years later you might look back and say, what the fuck did I do with my 20s and my 30s? I spent it following this bullshit lie, which is feminism, modern feminism at least, radicalized feminism. And I've ruined my life. And that's if they wake up. Some never wake up, or some just reap you reap what you sow. Some just reap the negative benefits of their crazy lifestyle for the rest of their life. If you sleep around in your 20s, you have no accountability, you have no character, and then you just fall back on the beta provider when you're 30 or 35, and you think you got it won because you got to sleep around, and you also got a man at the end of the rainbow, your cleanup guy, your beta provider to come at the end of the rainbow and take care of you and raise kids with you. If you think you got that one, that's not love. First of all, you haven't won. You haven't won. That's not winning. But anyway, I'm gonna cut it off there. This guy, go follow Fear Bavaria, share his content. This is the best stuff, some of the best stuff that I've ever read online. So this sums up what I talk about to a T. This is it right here. This is all that's happening in society, and men are speaking this because this is what we see. This is what we see, and we know this is true. Appreciate you listening. Jay Lee, Northwest Podcast. Peace.